So I'd like you to introduce you four ladies who will set a tone or give their stories and reviews, their connection to mother centers. And after that, I open the floor for a discussion, for your impressions, for your stories. How did you connect, and what do you think about this topic, mother centers and resiliency? First of all, I'd like to introduce Tatiana Teradica from Ukraine. Tatiana, can you wave? Hi, Tatiana.
Hi.
And Tatiana was connected to the Slovakian network. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kata.
I'm connected from Ukraine now, but my friend Katka take me this opportunity.
Yes, thank you for both of you that you are here. I heard from Kata that currently you are in a crucial situation, not just because, of course, there is a war in your country, but today is bombing alarms again.
Very difficult and bad day for Ukrainian people, because all Ukrainian people 6 a.m. Get up from sirens and waiting for rocket attack. It is very difficult, psychological, physical, no, all change. But I'm glad to be present at this meeting today and see you, all of you. For me, it is both important, pleasant, and honorable. Other. It happened so that during the most difficult time in my life, fate gave me friends, Katka, Yanka, from who managed the Postpartum Center in Nizhna, Slovakia. And they introduced me as a center and gave me the possibility to get the great communication experience, to see, understand the principle and operation of such center and its most important purpose. This center, if translate in Ukrainian word Dupaida, I translate amazing institution, physiological adaptation and friendly atmospheres. It's me, translator for Central Dupaida. For letter D, Dupaida, A, and other letter. No, in Ukraine, I never hear of such centers, but we have many big development centers for kids. Various people, parents pay for development our kids. But only those children whose parents are able to pay development is good, but other children who have the desire but their parents cannot pay for that, don't go something development centers. And no, the first Dupaida, for me, it is very, very good center for all kids. Not only kids whose parents are able to pay. Such centers as the Dupaida are very important for societies. It is not just a center for children development. I think it is for both development and support for parents too, because it is very important when your child can development, can good, comfortable atmosphere, opportunity for many parents and children to feel needed to develop themselves and develop their children, an opportunity not to limit your child in living new interesting things and other. No, but I see this very important. It is priceless. Yes.
Tatiana, why do you think a mother center you experienced in Slovakia, the Drupa, is so unique? Why do you think? Why is it different than any other help services?
Oh, it is very, this center more, я могу на русском, да, сказать, на русском переведете, да, если я два слова скажу.
Marina, can you come back to the main channel? Main channel.
Если рассматривать этот центр, это не просто центр развития, это центр как друг. Центр друг для детей, где нету выбора, богатый ты, бедный, успешные у тебя родители, менее успешные. Это центр, который дает возможность каждому ребенку развиваться, общаться, решать какие-то свои и детские, и взрослые вопросы. Это центр, где дети настолько много получают, что не каждая состоятельная семья может дать ребенку то общение, ту культуру, то развитие и ту поддержку, прежде всего психологическую, которую они...
Please stop for the translation, because this is currently is a stop and go translation.
Okay.
I ask anybody, Marina or Natalia, can you summarize, please, what Tatiana said about my question? Why is it different, a mother center, than any other institutions? Can you give us a summarize what it was heard on the main channel? Marina, can you come back to... Are you here, Marina? Okay, please come back to original audio. Okay, then English. Okay. Go on.
Можно? Marina, hear me? Yes? No?
Okay. So from there on, where you heard, what was said by Tatiana? Thank you, Marina. Tatiana, can you hear me?
Yes,
and what
I hear. Yes, I hear.
Yeah, and what about Yes, I hear you. What about the women? What about the mothers? Why is it special for the mothers from your point of view?
No, as for me, is this center very important, more important than many centers for pay in Ukraine, because children and parents have the first psychological support. The first, it is very important in life. When you have, sorry for my English, because I don't speak English good, but I understand 70% for your child.
We understand you very well.
Mother, which can take child in this center, very happy because she have the best friend is in the center. Ну, на русском некому, да, перевести, если я скажу. Вот появилась now Natalia input, maybe she translate good.
I'm here, so I will support you. Розмовляю українською, без проблем.
Наталочка, переклади, будь ласка, що даний центр для більшості батьків, він є більше, ніж просто центр, це як такий друг, який може насамперед врівноважити дітей незалежно від їхнього статку, тобто діти із бідних сімей, із багатих сімей, незалежно від того, ким є їхні батьки, наскільки їхні батьки спроможні платити, в принципі, вони мають змогу розвиватися і мають змогу комунікувати, відчувати себе потрібними в цьому суспільстві.
Okay, please stop for translation that Natalia can have the possibility to speak. Natalia?
Okay, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Super. So Tanya said that the center is a great friend and a great support. She has already said about a great support for parents, but also it's a great chance for children, no matter what the level of their wealth, no matter how money their parents have, both children from poor and very rich families have the same possibilities and rights. They can go to different developing activities, do various things which help them to develop, to support this development, and that's why it's so great.
Thank you, Natalia. This horrible war started in February. You arrived, Tatiana, somewhere, somehow in Slovakia. How did you find your way to a mother center? And what did you feel when you arrived there?
Ну, коли я вперше приїхала в невеличке містечко, єдиний заклад, де мені було комфортно після тієї біди, яка у нас трапилася, це насправді була саме Дупайда і ті люди, які там працюють. Далі, якщо ти тут, переклади.
Я тут. So she said that when she arrived to the small city, after that terrible tragedy which she had at home, this was the first place where she felt safe and where she felt at last in a normal way. Ти можеш далі продовжувати.
Це було єдине місце, де ти почував себе в безпеці, ти почував себе комфортно, і ти якби продовжував намагатися жити і підтримувати своїх дітей, тому що все інше, воно було чуже, воно було незрозуміле, починаючи від людей, закінчуючи мовою і всім іншим. Тобто ти, тікаючи з дому, ну, може їм скажи просто, що війна почалася раптово, і коли ти плануєш йти зранку, як зазвичай, на роботу, до школи, в садочок, і ти зриваєшся, хапаєш дітей і їдеш невідомо куди, то є дуже страшно. І це великий стрес, в першу чергу, для дорослого, який повинен ще підтримувати дітей.
Translation?
Okay.
Thank you.
So she said that for us, the war started very suddenly. And for mother who always know the usual timetable and is planning to go to school or to the kindergarten to have the usual timetable, it's very hard and very terrifying to take the bag and go away to another country where everything, including the language, people, the place, it's a space, it's unfamiliar and strange. So for her, this Mother Center was the first safe place where she could feel safe, feel that the life is going to continue, and where she felt strength to support her children, first of all.
I understand. Do you have questions to Tatiana? Maybe Andrea?
Hello, Tatiana. I'm sitting here in a safe space in Stuttgart in the Mother Center, and we are safe here in Stuttgart in Germany, but as well this Mother Center is a beautiful safe place. And it's safe in a way that women and families can participate and really relax on the same at the same time. I heard a lot about you and your life already from the Slovak network, because we have this project with the Ministry of State in Baden-Württemberg, that's our region, who funded them when the war started, to help and open their doors to Ukrainian women families who come. And what I really was impressed when you left Slovakia again and went to Kiev. And it's hard to imagine how this is to leave safety but go home again. And I think what I just want to tell you is that you are most welcome in this circle. And I'm very sorry that we couldn't really arrange the translation properly, because there's some misunderstanding, and it just couldn't happen. In the morning we had Ukrainian women who translated for the Ukrainian, but now it was difficult, and Marina just stepped in, so because she wanted to help. And the first thing I asked her if she's a Putin lover, and she said, my God, no. And that's how she only came in, because I asked her about that. So in a way I want to say sorry, because it's not sensitive. On the other side, I want to say that we have to be open, and I really asked her. And I don't know if the ladies in Slovakia told you that we had the war, the Russians came into the Ukraine, started that war, and mothers from Mother Center met a week later online and created an Ukrainian emergency committee. Our wish is to open this committee to Ukrainian women who lost, because we need your knowledge. It's about you. We want to, Mother Centers is about not about, we are not a helping your organization. We are those who consider together what is needed, and we're quite good in getting funds. And that's what we will need to build up your mother center in the Ukraine. You need funds. And so my offer is to you, if we can somehow arrange this, that you be part of this committee. And if we do that, we will get a professional translator for you to participate. That's my offer. I have no voice because I speak too much the last 2 weeks. Sorry.
I'd like to ask you, Tatiana, if it was understandable for you. Is it clear what Andrea said, or do you need support with the translation from Natalia or from Marina?
I understand 70%.
Okay. After this session, we will contact you in written, and we keep on continuing this conversation over there. Thank you very much for your participation, and hope you can stay with us as long as this event goes. And I'd like you to welcome all the other women who we asked to be a speaker in this round to give their input, which is one of them is Senada Jankic. And for Senada, this situation, what you were telling, Tatiana, is very well known, because she lived in Germany as a refugee when the war in Bosnia was, and then she went back and she founded a mother center in Zavidovici Plamen. And Senada is playing an active part on the international mother center movement too. So she will tell her story, not the story of this, she will tell another story, how a community could answer to a natural disaster when the flood was in her town. And other speakers, Rachel Kasselberg is here in the round. Please, Rachel, wink. And Rachel, she's an American gratitude student living in Germany who interns at the Mother Center Süd in Stuttgart. Her first experience with the family center was as a visitor when she arrived first in Germany with her 1-year-old daughter 4 years ago, and she will tell about this experience as well. And I'd like you to introduce to Judith Kish. Please, Judith. Yeah, you see over there. Judith, she connects. She represents a network of Hungarian women organization who supports women, and as well as in Slovakia, in Hungary.
Dall'Italia sì.
Hungary as well as in Slovakia, there are projects finance to support the supporters. We support, and she will tell about this experience, how as a leader of a network, find these new things in their life, which was never before there, and how she solved it, or how we solved it. So these are the 4 speakers for today in this celebration, and I let Tatiana to speak in the front, because I tell for those ones who wasn't here, this is currently a very heavy time because it's bombing alarm anytime. So that I pulled her in the front, because in any case she has to leave. But I'm very happy that you stay with us, Tatiana. I'm calling Rachel. Rachel, can you switch your mic on and please tell us how was what did it meant for you to walk in a foreign country with a very strange language? I don't know if you spoke before that. How was it for you in that part of your life? Hi, Rachel.
Hi. When I first arrived here in Deutschland in 2018, I didn't speak any German. I've been studying a little bit on Duolingo, but that only goes so far. We had come here for my husband's work, so we didn't really have any social connections of any kind. My daughter was just about a year old, and I was at home with her. I was also recovering from a very severe bout of postpartum depression, which is a great time to be isolated. And so I came into the community of Stuttgart Süd, and I actually had another American friend who lived on a local barracks, which I did not. I lived in the city, invite me to Familienzentrum in Fahingen, another part of Stuttgart. And I was like, you know what, this is really neat. I wonder if there's one near me. And it turned out there was one just down the street from where I lived, Musa Süd. And so I go in there. I'm super nervous because I barely speak any German. And I was after a couple of times I'd been there, Aneta approached me and started talking to me. And I was like, I used my one phrase, which was, es tut mir leid, ich spreche kein Deutsch. And Aneta was very considerately switched to English for me. And from there, I was able to enroll my daughter in their childcare, then the mini kindy. And then I found myself able to breathe. It was like coming up for air. And that's when I started volunteering. I think the first thing I did was helping Nikki in the kitchen because I didn't need any German to chop vegetables. And from there, I did a tandem where I worked in the cafe with someone who spoke English and German, so I could develop my German skills. And that just opened a whole new set of doors for me. It was through the mini kindy I met my friend Isabel. She was the mother of another child there. She helped me get my daughter into full-time Kita. And she's also, and now she's the godmother of my second child who was born here in Germany, who I would not have had if I hadn't had the confidence of the support network I was able to build through Musa Süd. And, you know, we're talking about resilience today and the ability to overcome crises and difficulties. And I think Musa really gave me the skills and the foundational network I needed to keep growing my own network. Because that first place of support, I was able to take, you know, my German language skills, the couple of friends that I had made, and I was able to take that into other parts of my life in Germany and make connections there, and also make myself into a support for other people.
E come mi hanno aiutato a me, così voglio anche sopportare e voglio anche aiutare gli altri.
Emesche, du hast Dolmetschfunktion abgeschaltet.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Yes, it was
There's some technical issue. Please, Emesche, speak a bit, and I can check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's working well now.
Yes,
Okay.
it's supposed to work. Everybody switch to English and their own language, or switch between and finding language. Sorry. On the background is it's hard to manage this that everybody gets. Rachel, I found that sentence of yours super powerful when you said, as I walked in the Mother Center, I find myself able to breathe. I mean, breath and air is the need, is really the fundamental need what a human can have. 30 seconds without breathing, then you are not alive. It's a very powerful sentence, and as in the morning we were talking about that. Yes, Mother Center is empowering. You find yourself useful by cutting vegetables. Yes, 5 years old can chop vegetables, but in a Mother Center, this is the connection to the community. It's a very, very nice example that we are not victims anymore over there. So we can turn our life as we are the emperors of our own life. Andrea?
Ti prevodiš, mi ništa ne čujemo tebe.
I'm sitting here in your center, Rachel, and you're just a few meters away in the office because we needed more laptops. And, you know, when we met, it was when I did this impulse for foundations in the region on Clara, on the reflection instrument on Mother Centers. And you really touched my heart at that day because you really, what you said is you felt at home suddenly. And I think that's what we heard today. Often it was like finding a home where I'm not at home, or where I thought I'm not at home. That means somehow you find new roots. And you know what, Rachel, I don't know if you see Laurie. She's from the US. I see her on the screen just above you, but probably, and Laurie is the woman who started Mother Centers in the US. And after this meeting, I will see you and I will put you in contact, you two, because I think it's really for you, Rachel. Maybe you can listen to Laurie because you are now studying as well and connected with your work in the Mother Center. I think you do international social work. And Laurie, so this is a good way to connect you two and listen to the American Mother Centers more. And to all of you, I was in the summer, I was on Haida Gwaii, that is an island in British Columbia, Canada. And it's where Penny's tribe comes from, the tribe of the Haida. Yeah, and I was just talking to Penny and saying and she said we need to translate this instrument, and Penny said it. And a few hours later, I got a message from you, Rachel, that you want to translate it into English. So it was like one of these miracles in Mother Centers. Like this morning when the Ukrainian women popped up to translate, it was the same. And that's of this miracle. So I thank you, Rachel, so much to be here and for your sharing.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We heard a very personal story from Rachel and Tatiana as well, how Mother Center made a fundamental change in their life. And now I'm calling Bosnia, Senada. Hi. And as I told you before, Senada took the idea of a mother center from Germany, as she was there as a refugee from the Yugoslavian war at that time. And then she went back and she said, this is what I need. This is the women's, this is what mothers need in Bosnia. And she founded her own mother center with a bunch of women. And Plamen, it is still working. And I have to tell, I go there in 2 weeks. I am super happy within a project. And we try to empower women to build more resilient communities. And it goes again about resilience, which is a uniqueness of these grassroots organizations like you are all part of. And when Plamen was flourishing as a mother center, and suddenly natural catastrophe hit the region. I've been there last year, and they have a small river, a very nice small river. And this small river turned to a destroyer. I will show pictures like this. Can you imagine when you see your town like this? And in this situation, how a mother center turned one of the main actors of the community. This is what we will hear from Senada. Senada, floor is yours. How is your story and your mother center story? Unmute yourself, Senada, unmute, du bist muted.
Jel dobro? Ok.
Ja, jetzt.
Hvala. Kao prvo želim da vas sve
Yes,
pozdravim.
and now we can hear you.
Želim da vas sve pozdravim i da nam svima čestitam ovaj prelijepi dan i da ih dočekamo još mnogo sa još mnogo zemalja, članica koje će doći, pristupiti nama i da radimo svi zajedno dobre stvari. Ja samo moram kratko da pozdravim posebno Tatjanu i da joj kažem da me je strašno potresla njena priča, jer sam ja tokom slušanja njene priče proživljavala sve ono što je se desilo kod nas 1992. godine. Koliko je bilo teško, ja mislim, možda ima još neko koje može razumjeti, ali ja je mogu potpuno razumjeti kako je kad ustaneš ujutro i kada granatiraju tvoj grad, a ti si sinoć legla u miru i budiš se u ratu. Imala sam tu sreću da sam otišla za Njemačku i da par godina sam se jako izgubljeno osjećala tu, međutim osnovala sam porodicu i moja djeca su bila motivacija da ja tražim nešto što je nešto dobro za mene i za tu djecu. Našla sam u novinama Centar za majke i otišla sam iz znatiželje da vidim šta je Centar za majke. Imala sam tu sreću da sam upoznala Andreju Laux koja me od prvog dana fascinirala i gdje sam ulaskom u taj centar, znači, osjetila tu toplinu i centar je bio moj drugi dom u Stuttgartu. To sam samo htjela da kažem da približim tu priču koliko sam se ja osjećala izgubljeno i koliko sam našla snage i volje da doprinesem Centru za majke u Stuttgartu, a kasnije uz podršku naših žena sam otišla za svoju zemlju i otvorila Centar za majke koji nije bilo nimalo lako da se otvori u jednoj uništenoj zemlji gdje je bio religiozni rat, gdje je trebalo okupiti žene raznih religija koje imaju jedan cilj, da bude dobro porodici, da bude dobro djeci, majkama i da radimo na rješavanju problema u našoj zajednici. Ja bi, kad bi imala vremena, mogla mnogo da pričam s kojim smo se mi sve problemima susreli u Zavidovićima, u Bosni i Hercegovini, ali nekako uvijek smo izlazile kao pobjednice. Jedna interesantna priča je ova koju si ti upravo, Emeše, rekla. To je bila 2014. godina kada su isto tako nakon malo duže kiše, ujutro smo se probudili, svi, grad je bio poplavljen. Nismo mogli funkcionisati, tako da bilo je mnogo uništenih kuća, porodice su čamcima izvlačene iz svojih domova i mi smo se čuli telefonom i razgovarali kako da naše udruženje pomogne tom ugroženom stanovništvu. Mi smo objavili na našoj Facebook stranici da Centar za majke Plamen stoji otvoren za sve one koji žele prvo da pomognu, da donesu ćebad, garderobu, hranu, sredstva za higijenu, da bi mi mogli da pomognemo. Mi iskreno nismo očekivali to što će se desiti u sljedećih mjesec dana. Nama su prvo počeli da dolaze rijeke ljudi koji su donosili to i mi smo ostavljali stvari u centar da vidimo prvo kako ćemo mi to da rasporedimo. Međutim, to je bilo nepregledno. Kako su ljudi dolazili da pomažu, tako su dolazili građani i građanke da pomognu nama. I mi više nismo bili sami. Nama je pomagali su nam svi koji su bili u mogućnosti da nam pomognu. Znači da kako je pomoć dolazila, tako smo bili organizovani da su taksisti dolazili i besplatno vozili tim ljudima pomoć koja im je bila prijeko potrebna. Familije koje nisu bile ugrožene su primale te porodice sa djecom sebi i svaka ta porodica je dobijala od nas pomoć hrane, garderobe i sve što im je bilo potrebno. Šta je interesantno? Te godine su se pripremali opštinski izbori, nekad možda septembar, oktobar mjesec. Naša opština je također dobijala pomoć sa svih strana, ali ubrzo se saznalo da su ta pomoć da je završavala u raznim magacinima, gdje su sakrivali tu pomoć i da htjeli da sačuvaju i sačuvali su za izbore da bi podmićivali narod da budu izabrani oni, znači stranački. Mi nismo apsolutno se bavili nikakvim pitanjima, osim što nam je bilo stalo da pomognemo tom narodu napaćenom bez svojih domova. Tako se pročula vijest kako u medijima, tako i od usta do usta, da Centar za majke Plamen radi jako dobru stvar. Da rade pošteno, požrtvovano, da imaju veliku pomoć. Nama su počeli da stižu kamioni iz cijele Bosne i Hercegovine, da smo mi u jednom momentu se osjećali veoma opterećeni, nismo imali više gdje da to slažemo. Zato smo bili prinuđeni da organizujemo kamione koji su automatski odvozili tu pomoć u porodice. Mi nismo slali samo u Zavidoviće, bilo je gradova oko Zavidovića i sela koja su bila isto tako ugrožena. Mi smo pomagali i njima. Tim samim smo izazvali jako veliki bijes kod opštine. Da smo dobili posjetu našeg gradonačelnika i još nekih par ljudi koji su došli da kažu da mi ne smijemo to da radimo. Ja sam rekla, gospodine gradonačelniče, zar postoji na ovom svijetu da neko ne smije nekome da pomogne? Jel vi stvarno mislite da je to kako treba, da je to pravilno? I sve dok nama imaju povjerenje u nas, mi ćemo primati pomoć. A vi nas kaznite zato što smo mi nekome pomogli. Mislim da to nećete moći učiniti.
Thank you. I stop a little bit your story, which is super interesting. I don't hear for the first time, but I'm still always fascinated. And I ask the speakers to have respect for translations, because we don't have, not everybody is a professional and needs time to translate. We have the Italians here. We have Katarina Jarinova, who is translating or supporting Slovak network. Thank you very much. I give the word back to you, Sanada, and please a bit slower. Thank you.
Ja se izvinjavam, jako sam emotivna i kad pričam o takvim stvarima, uvijek jednostavno zaboravim, tako da moje srce lupa i vraćam se uvijek u te momente. Znači, kad nisu mogli ništa da nam urade, mi smo nastavili sa pomoći i sve je bilo onda i u kontinuitetu. Ljudi su nam pomagali što se tiče logistike, faksova, preko granice smo dobijali pakete. Znači, to nije bilo nikako mala akcija, to je bila jedna jako, jako velika akcija. Počeo je da nam stiže novac koji smo mi sve transparentno, znači, dijelili, prikazivali sve, tako da nismo imali ni jedne male mrlje u svom tom radu i bili smo veoma, veoma ponosni. Naša podrška je trajala oko mjesec dana. Znači, pomogli smo svima kojima smo bili u mogućnosti pomoći i onda smo jednostavno počeli da privodimo tu pomoć kraju zato što se situacija smirivala. Ljudi su počeli da čiste svoje kuće, vraćalo se, onda smo pomagali u akciji čišćenja blata, kada se rijeka povukla, užasno je bilo prljavo, užasno bile su to velike naslage blata, to je bio veliki posao za svakoga od nas, ali na kraju mi smo bili toliko ponosni, mi smo pokazali svima, konačno, taj centar za majke, da je to jedno mjesto gdje samo se rade dobre stvari. Mi želimo, znači, da pokažemo njima i do sad sam stvarno pokazali da naše udruženje, ja sad mislim na sve centre za majke, svaki centar za majke daje od sebe ono što on najbolje može da da. I svaki se bavi problematikom koja je nama srodna. Znači, mi smo našli svoje mjesto, mi smo našli svoj drugi dom. Andreja je u pravu. Moramo shvatiti da je to naša druga kuća u kojoj se mi osjećamo bezbjedno, lijepo. Ja kad iz svoje kuće izađem i kad dođem u centar za majke, ja se ponašam kao u svojoj kući. Znači, ajmo sad da vidimo šta nam je danas za rad, kakve probleme imamo, koje projekte trebamo da radimo. Znači, nama je najpotrebnije kad imamo problem da budemo jedinstvene, da radimo jedna za drugu. I to je jedina formula, znači da se zajedno držimo i da uvijek doprinosimo tom boljem radu. Eto, ako imate neko pitanje, ja sam tu. I hvala vam.
Thank you. I'd like to show you a picture from the group, because I guess they need to be shown. Sanada and her group. Thank you.
Hvala te.
Andrea.
What happened? Okay. Sanada, vielen Dank. I think one thing what we did really good in Bosnia and you is when you went back to Bosnia and came to this destroyed country where still was the war among the people. Sanada, you created the first what do you call it in English? A first place where everybody could go, where not one religion was dominating. And yeah, I guess I know it's still the only place in Savitovici, and to get all the community here in, those who don't know, maybe Bosnia is still a country on risk. There is no peace. Dayton didn't bring peace. And so what this Mother Center is doing is a miracle. And when I would like to summarize Senada, I think what you do very well is when there is a crisis, you mobilize, and you're the only group who is not corrupt. We knew that your mayor was corrupt. He wanted to buy votes with these goods for when the disaster was, and you could show that you really are the people who the citizen can relate to. And I remember that there were these old women, they were just, they forgot about them. They couldn't even go out of their apartments or houses because the water was so high. And you helped them to stay alive because you brought the food and you connected, you listened to them, you visit them. And that's, I would say, this Mother Center saved life through listening deeply and feeding people. On the other hand, how did this Mother Center stay alive? And that's very important for Tatiana in the Ukraine. In Bosnia, when there was clear that international money comes in, that was German money from Baden-Württemberg. We fundraised for money and for the rent and everything. And they rented space, you know, and the rent, as soon as they knew, the rent went up and up and up. As soon as this group renovated a space, then some of the old people, you know, of the men just took it again. You know, it was really interesting. So what we did, and I think this was really the most important thing was that we, and that was Monika Jäckel, Marike, a lot of women worked for that. We bought a space. So the Bosnian Savitovici Mother Center is existing because there are women who are doing the work, but as well, they're existing because there was money to buy space and not rent it. So that will be very important for the Ukraine. It's important for Serbia. It's important for post-war countries, and it's important for countries which have no democracy. So in both cases, it's important to own space. So that's what I recommend, Tatiana. When we look for seed money, that's enough money to build and that the group owns the space. I think Senada could be, when we talk more, she could be a good resource person for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea, and hvala puno, Senada. Thank you so much. And I can hardly wait to see you in Bosnia in 2 weeks. I stop here for questions and reflections before we continue our storytelling afternoon. Do you have questions, reflections to any of the stories? Or how can you relate to all this? To this personal growth through a mother center, personal and community growth. How can a mother can recognize that, yes, I'm growing in this community. I gather skills I did not, or develop skills I did not know I have before. Or when a community sticks together through a crisis, and the crisis, it is a crisis, but it's a possibility for growing. Can you relate to that? Lisa?
Yes, hi. I have a question related to this kind of crisis. I mean, during a crisis, even if it is a humanitarian or conflict or any kind of crisis, you can act fastly and the people are really everybody's friend to each other and everybody want to help. And this is happening in a very emotional way in the first week or first days. But what's happening after? So how was your community after the crisis, or how changed the community or your activity or the structure, or what's happened after the crisis when it is already not very emotional and not very strong?
It's a question to Senada. Yes. Or to others.
Mogu li ja odgovoriti? Jel me čujete?
Yes.
Ja,
Yes.
nažalost, kao što je Andrea rekla, u našoj zemlji od završetka rata do danas dan se apsolutno situacija nije na bolje promijenila nego na gore. Znači, što se tiče naše zemlje, nemamo neke velike pomake za pomoć stanovništvu. Sve su to male i tako zajednice koje, recimo, trude se da pomognu i da daju neke rezultate. Naše udruženje, znate šta sam ja zaboravila da istaknem? Znači, mi smo mali grad, mi se poznajemo i vi vrlo brzo možete doći u naš grad i pitati za Centar za majke Plamen, pitati za Senadu, za Gogu, za Ljilju. Znači, odmah će vam odgovoriti, aha, to vam je to i one rade dobru stvar. Znači, svijet ima povjerenje u nas. I to nismo rijetko čuli. Mi to često čujemo. Svaka čast, radite dobru stvar. A što se tiče regiona našeg, opštine, pomoći, mi smo trenutno ponovo evo u izborima. To su krađe, to su prevare, to je namještanje, to je samo lični interes. Kod nas je i poslije rata, znači u miru, otišlo je unazad oko 600-700 hiljada ljudi, mladih, pametnih ljudi, bježi iz naše zemlje, zato što nema perspektive, zato što sve stvarno loše izgleda. Ove situacije, umjesto da nas uče, da uče našu zajednicu, našu zemlju, kako da napredujemo, mi to, nažalost, moram Lizi odgovoriti, ne razvija se zajednica kao zajednica u pozitivnom nekom smislu. Znači da smo mi, samo se oslanjamo, možemo osloniti na sebe. I mi to tako i radimo. Mi se jako puno, mi nemamo podrške nikakve od našeg grada, od naše države, naše udruženje, ali mi se borimo kroz naše aktivnosti da se održimo finansijski, da pomognemo one žene koji tu rade, da i one dobiju jedan vid honorara. Ali jedini opstanak je naš kroz te projekte. Mi stalno radimo projekte da bi se održali. Znači, mi dajemo doprinos našoj zajednici, ali zajednica ne vraća to nama. Mogu samo tako da odgovorim.
Thank you, Senada. I hear the word undemocratic government and trust. And then I recognize, this is like my country. Very undemocratic situation we have now in Hungary. I'm talking a little bit from a Hungarian perspective now and try to bridge the next speaker. And the other word is trust, because in these undemocratic structures, you really don't know how to act. There are no clear rules. Always be very first suspicious, and by the other hand, kind of clever how to act further. and to experience trust in this kind of systems. System is a thing which is super valuable. And I'd like to introduce you our next speaker, Judith Kish. She's the representative of Mother Nature Association, which is a connector of mothering and women communities in Hungary. Hi, Judith.
Hello.
Please tell how it is when your organization really wants to help, and this is and the organization is in front of a situation or a problem where she was never before. How do you handle that?
With resilience. First of all, thank you all of you to be here, and my partners in this speech. They were amazing stories. So thank you for you to share these stories with us. And as you can see, it won't be a problem, my speed that I speak, because my English is not so good to speak very quickly. So I hope you can have the translation. First of all, I would like to introduce you with some words, our association. Mother Nature Association was founded in 2020, so we are pretty young. By a group of mothers who joined an international project called Similar. We are a network of mothers and professionals supporting mothers from different backgrounds, including doulas, midwives, therapists, women circle leaders, and facilitators. So we believe that motherhood is a informal learning process, and we support mothers in three main areas: personal development as a mother with online mother circles, online thematic women circles, and the Mother Nature card deck and our methodology. Support mompreneurship, and develop national and international network within mother circles, women leaders, and women communities. I think it's important that it's not our main job. So we are all mompreneurs, mothers and entrepreneurs too. We have professions and families, but Mona, Mother Nature, Mona is our dream. An association created by and for mothers. A workspace, we are dreaming with a workspace where our special skills as women, as mother are welcome. Our timetable, family timetable is accepted, and our family is not a disadvantage. Our motherhood is not a disadvantage, but an advantage. And one of those special skills that we have as mothers is resilience, as we are talking about this today. So this is about our association, and we worked with mother circles. As you can heard, we work online, mostly online. We have presential events too, but mostly online. So when in February 2022, the Ukrainian war had started and refugees started to arrive to Hungary, we wanted to help. So this was the point, okay, we need to help. And our motto is always to help with what you do best. We are not good at food distribution. We can do it if we need, but we're not good at food distribution. We are not the best at finding accommodation for refugees. There are organizations much better equipped for that. So we can help at supporting mothers and families, creating supportive communities. That's what we do best. So when Mina connected with us, we started to work. Okay, immediately we started to work. As we are a network of smaller organizations, we thought that the most effective way for us to help is to distribute and organize the funds and distribute the funds to smaller organizations that have already been helping to Ukrainian refugees. To develop a fund based on a set criteria and the point system to select those applications to the fund that come closest to our goals. We never did that before, so it was something new. And okay, we was just thinking how to do it, and in the shorter time, the shorter time possible. So first we had to change our strategy, our plans for the year, reschedule other projects, because this was the first, it was the most urgent, it was a crisis. So we had no time to think another thing. We had to focus and go for it. We had to figure out the system and the structure. We had to think about what we would like to learn from our experience in the tender system generally, and what we would like to do better, and after to find the right partners. Our goals were, with all this fund, make simple the administration, to let the partners work professionally and focus on the work and not the invoices and the administration tasks, but having total transparency, because for us it was very important. Let the information flow between partners and us, and with Mina too. So with all the community can have the information about the situation. Looking for support for the projects, for us, between all the projects. We can, like in the mother circle now. So it's every participant can help, can support the other, and we wanted to make the same with organizations. Create a circle, connections between projects, and adapt our system to the constantly changing situation. As Tatiana told us, the situation of Ukrainian people in Slovakia and Hungary, these countries are changing. So we have to know about it and change our fund to reach the places where we have to work. And as I told you, transparency was the other goal that we wanted to implement. So our solutions was, for our fund, choose a personal contact person for every project, create a Facebook group to share experiences, photos, histories, and create a place of connection between the projects. We set up a monthly mentoring to share best practice, worries, problems, and have feedback for us to see how the situation is changing, and have the feedback for the international organization too. And Google Drive for easy administration and controlling, but without losing a lot of time with this. So we wanted to help all the partners to can work and focus on the professional work with the Ukrainian refugees. In the first round of the Mothers for Mothers Ukrainian Fund, from May to September, we started with 5 projects. Ukrainian drama circles and mother circles, a work hostel with 115 persons living together with 1 kitchen, 1 living room, with 2 laundry machines. So to make mother circles there, to make children events, excursions, things like that, to make it easier. Supporting minorities too. We have Roma families and grand families too, with 11 children, and helping them with administration and all these things. So a project like this, and in the second round that we have just started in October, we have 7 projects. So we are continuing some in the first round, and we have new projects too. I think in Mona, we think that we can only help in this way if we do what we are best at. If there is a continuous communication between the participants and us and all, there is a circle, like the mother circle. So there is a circle and we can support each other. If we support our organizations in all areas, if we quickly develop the right structure so that they can concentrate on their tasks, on their work, and if we develop short-term strategies, I think in crisis we need short-term strategies to can adapt us to the constantly changing situation. So this is what we try to do in Mona right now with the Mothers for Mother Ukrainian Fund.
Thank you, Judith. Yes, this constantly changing situation is very well known for everybody, and it's one crisis after another. You all feel, and yeah, like in a family, we just simply solve it somehow, and this is what I can see within all these stories. The common thing that you just solve somehow, solve it. Thank you, Judith. I'd like to ask the Italian group, are you with us from South Italy? Because as the news and as Andrea said at the beginning, there's a group of women in South Italy who are interested in the mother centers concept. I really like to listen to you, and I hope that we can switch to you.
Schreibt man in Deutsch, dann übersetze ich dich. Okay, alles klar. Zu den Italiener.
Ja. Hallo an alle. Ich bin die Niki hier in das Mütterzentrum hier in Stuttgart mit der Andrea. Ich habe seit Jahren diesen Wunsch, bei uns in Süditalien sowas aufzumachen.
I'm Nikki, I'm here, I'm not speaking English, and I'm here in the Mother Center in Stuttgart, and since ages I have the wish that in South Italy a Mother Center would develop.
Ich habe in diesen Jahren gesehen, die Maria Teresa, die leider jetzt weg ist, sie hat sich so viel in sozialen Projekte engagiert, und ich habe ihr gefragt, was wäre, wenn du dabei sein willst bei dieser Sitzung, um zu hören und zu sehen halt, was wir halt machen.
She talked with her friend in Apulian, Marie-Therese. She just had to leave because she had to pick up her child prepare her child because she needs to work. But Maria-Therese, she is doing such a lot of volunteer work in all kind of organization, but she still misses something like a mother center, because Nikki was always telling about it. Jetzt mal rein.
Okay. Ich sehe jetzt gerade, weil die meisten oder vielleicht sind die schon alle weg. Ich sehe niemand mehr. Sind alle weg. Ja, auf jeden Fall das, was ihr erzählt habt und das, was ich auch sehe, was gemacht wird in den anderen Ländern, in Ukraine oder da, wo die Jelena, gell?
Ja, Serbien.
Genau, in Serbien halt. Das ist so eine große Hilfe und Unterstützung für verschiedene Sachen halt, für die Frauen und für ja, wie gesagt, für alles Mögliche. Und sowas ich denke halt noch in Süditalien fehlt genau sowas. Genau, auch gerade halt mit der Regierung, also die Politik und so weiter. Genau. Und ich habe Sie heute auch gefragt, ob Sie dabei sein konnten. Leider müssten Sie alle arbeiten wieder gehen und ich sehe jetzt, die sind schon alle weg. Aber genau.
Okay, übersetze. Yeah. She said she was so grateful that she invited her Italian friends because now they saw that this is a big community and an international community, and she says they can learn a lot from Serbia and the Ukraine, you know, to be so faithful and Nikki said they all had to leave now because they all work at night, you know, they all have night shift somehow.
A bäckerei.
It's a bakery, so they have to bake. But they really wanted to be part today of this meeting, and they did. And we will have a Zoom, extra Zoom with Italy and see what happens. And Maria Teresa will be here in this Mother Center, I think in November, and staying a week here to learn from the Mother Center and take home the idea. Manuela, sprich mal.
Ja poczujesz, Katka, czy ja ostatni?
Thank you, Manuela, for your contribution, and thank you, Nikki. And I would be very happy to join this Zoom meeting, as I was very happy to supporting a bunch of women group last week in Hungary who have the same idea. And this is somehow reminds me what Gisela formulated in the morning. Gisela Erler, that at that time when the Mother Center started to grow up from the bottom, like, you know, mushrooms, because it was in the air, this need. They didn't have anything. They didn't have resources. They didn't have money. They didn't really have rooms. Everything, the resources was on a low flame, except the wish, this very need together. And currently, in the middle of the crisis, energy crisis, war crisis, natural crisis, is the same. We have no money, just the need together and to share what we have. Because we are experts, we are basis experts of the knowledge. We don't have to, I don't know, be treated as a client. We need empowerment and attachment to the community and to each other. So it's again in the air. And I really have the wish that in Ukraine, in South Italy, in Hungary, and all in these communities where centers or open living rooms are needed, the women can have one. I open the floor. We still have 30 minutes from this celebration, and I see Yelena. Yelena wants to say something, I'm pretty sure. I see it in the background. Gota is making the bags. How are you, Yelena, from the Aurora Center, Belgrade? How can you connect to the topic?
Hvala na reč. Da, pre svega želim sve da pozdravim. Evo, mi smo svakako, tu su naše učesnice koje rade, šiju. Mi inače pravimo eko kese. Tu su nam i deca koja su uvek tu, bez njih ne možemo. Htela bih da kažem da moramo stalno da budemo u kontaktu sa majkama i da slušamo kako bih znale njihove probleme.
Yelena, please speak a little bit slower and not so loud, because we cannot hear the Anna. Slower and from the back. Thank you.
Ok. Mi u našem centru moramo da budemo uvek stalno sa našim majkama, da ih slušamo, saznamo njihove probleme i potrebe. To je jako bitno. Mi na svetskom regionu ne radimo toliko, ali upravo mnogo više radimo na našem, kako da kažem, uticaj naše zajednice. Tu mnogo više radimo, imamo svakako imamo podršku od naše opštine, gde svakako dosta nam pomaže. Sad trenutno imali smo te kurs šivenja. Emeše, hvala na ovom projektu što smo savršili da šijemo naše eko kese. Trenutno šijemo eko kese od eko materijala, ovo je jedan paket sa našim logom. To su kesice koje mi prodajemo, naše žene zarađuju. Naše žene zarađuju tako što 1 evro ide za ženu koja šije, evro za materijal i evro za centar. Tako da naš centar konačno zarađuje i centar i naravno žena svaka se bori da zaradi za svoju decu, jer je stvarno, jeste i zbog rata i zbog korone, svetska kriza, svud i skupoća. Da li me čuju?
Yes.
I heard you. We heard you both. I think Jelena has to unmute and you have to mute or something like that, because we hear both.
I guess this is somehow a technical mistake by Zoom, because if somebody translates, then the original language can be heard very, just a little bit, but currently we can hear it very loud, and we cannot do against it. Maybe Jelena a little bit leiser sprechen. Okay, go on.
Da. Oni od kojima mi možemo da učimo, to jeste da poboljšamo doprinos u svetu, to jeste primer koji sad trenutno radi Andreja Emeše, jeste i njihova pomoć koja pomaže sad deci i majkama iz Ukrajine. To je stvarno jedan veliki primer. Zbog toga mi je drago što sam danas sa vama, da možemo da razmenjujemo iskustva i da saznamo kako da pomognemo našoj zajednici i da saslušamo naše probleme. Da li je to okej, jer se čujemo? Da li je to u redu? I svakako Mi svakako imamo, sad imamo veći prostor, ali jer mi imamo razne aktivnosti, kao što je Baby Cafe, razne aktivnosti sa ženama, teme, razne kurseve, sad je aktuelno i šivenje. Trenutno imamo 1000 torbice koje žene, evo i sad trenutno i na ovom sastanku one već nešto rade. Znači svaki minut, svaki sekund oni žele da zarade. To mi je jako drago što konačno mogu naše učesnice koje ne mogu da nađu posao u Srbiji, jako teško, ovde mogu da zarade, a samim tim i naš centar ima doprinos od toga 10%.
Yes, thank you, Jelena, for your contribution. And thank you, Anna, for translating. And sorry, I have to say, we cannot change. This is a learning process, how we go along with tools. 3 years ago, we had no idea how to use Zoom translation and everything. And now I get, because on the meanwhile we use a lot this translator channel, and normally it functions well. So try to live with this, how it is now. We cannot change, we do our best. Thank you very much, Jelena, and see you on December. And see your community in December.
Nadam se da sam bila kratka.
Okay, thank you so much. Andrea, do you want to say something? Or no? Okay. I open the floor for questions, requests, comments to what we've heard. We heard so many stories, so many from personal, from community point of view, from project manager point of view, from the bottom up till the top. Reflections. They are calling Tatiana. Sorry, Tatiana, I really want to hear your voice, because I really like to know how is it for you to be in an international community, to share the same hardships and the same things, what you live now with others. Tatiana, did you heard what I've said? Should I repeat? Please, okay.
It is very interesting. I understand in plus minus everything, and I will think what will do in this situation in Ukraine. Many people как сказать, они как life of Ukrainian divided into before the war and during the war, and I hope only for life after the war. And now it is very difficult как сказать, воспринимать, feeling new information, but it is very good for me. Understanding, no?
Thank you, Tatiana. We understand you. Comments, feelings, sharings.
I have a little shocked feeling.
Okay, I'm asking the others, not just you, Tatiana. Thank you for sharing. We understood you.
I will try to tell you something.
Birgit, yes, please.
I think one of the reasons to create a mother center is that women are living at the beginning with their first baby as homeless people, homeless women. Because at the beginning of my story with my mother center, I felt to be very alone because, as it told us Rachel and Gisela Erler, we went from one country, from one city where we lived before to another city because there are husbands we want to live with them together with our babies, our children. And this is a reason because we feel homeless and we need other women to create a new home. And this is the reason for the mother centers, because there are for me, there were other women who lived in the same situation. I came from Heidelberg to Dortmund. I didn't know anybody, only one friend who came with me. And I thought perhaps it would be possible to find people living as I do when I go back to my profession, but it was not the same. I needed people, women with the same themes. And when I saw mother centers in Germany everywhere, I told there are, I can hear different dialects because of all the women coming from anywhere and going to a new country, to a new city, to a new village. And they try to find other mothers to live with them or to create situations for her life, for her future. They have lots of questions. And when you know nobody, then there's nobody who can give you the answers. And so mother centers are centers where we can give us the answers and where we can create new things. And I think when I hear all this about the war and the wars, there are two wars, and when we saw in 2015 all the refugees from Syria, it's the same. My feeling of homeless, it's not the same. It's a little bit, it was a little bit, I think 38 years ago. And the feeling to be homeless as a woman from Ukraine or from Slovakia or from anywhere from Syria is another thing. It's a bigger one. We can't compare. But the feeling to have lost the home and to need a new one. I hope you can understand what I mean.
Yes, Birgit. Yes, yes. Smaller, you mean?
I can continue on this way because I'm just thinking about how the community is changing related to the crisis. So why is it happening that everybody start to help to each other when the crisis is happening, and in the peaceful time it's really not so much community at all. So I think this is what you said, Manu, is the point that asking a help is very hard, and accepting the help is also very hard. But if there is a big crisis, everybody just offer the help without asking. So you just got it and you just feel, oh, okay, I can get it. So it's a different way of how we give and get the support and the help. And I think maybe the mother centers could be something like I mean, that the strongest things could be something like this, that there is a community where you don't need to ask, because anyhow you get it. You get support, you get the others, and there you still don't need to ask anything.
Thank you, Lisa. How was with you, Rachel? Did you ask for help?
When my daughter was first born, I did not ask for help. I had this thought in my head that I needed to be able to do everything by myself, that it was somehow, it would be a poor reflection on me morally if I needed to go ask for people to help. And I remember when my daughter was 2 weeks old, I went to church for some reason, even though I had, my daughter had been crying from 2 in the morning till 9 in the morning. And we go into church and everyone is like, oh, congratulations, you must be so happy. And, you know, your daughter is beautiful. And we're all so happy for you. And I got this, you know, fake smile on my face. And finally, another woman who I didn't even know really well pulled me aside and said, so how are you really doing? And I just started sobbing in this room full of people. And she and all the other women at my church that day set it up so that once my husband went back to work, there was someone to come check in on me every day. And I really believe that's the only reason I'm still here. And so when I left that community to come to Germany, I knew that I had to find support because I wasn't going to be able to do it myself. And I had to learn how to ask for help and to not think poorly of myself for asking for help. And Mutsa helped me do that.
Thank you. Thank you. It is very nice. Yeah, from Barbara and from Stuttgart. Waves are coming. Oh, ladies, I'm so grateful. Yes, Natalia Chizmaziova from Czech Republic.
Yes, hello from the Czech Republic.
Yes,
and
hi.
I will try a short reflection. It's very touching. It's those stories, all of them. I'm working for Mother Center in Kroměříž. It's a little town in south of Moravia in the Czech Republic. We are quite bigger Mother Center for such a small town as we are. We have 30,000 inhabitants, and our Mother Center, we run a couple of big projects. So we have already 20 employees and many volunteers, and we do, as you said, we offer different activities, but we offer as well meeting for families, like not paid and so on. But what we have now with the Ukrainian war, we have many families from Ukraine in our small town as well. And so mothers with children are coming to our center. And so it was very important for me to hear Tatiana's story and Senada's story as well, and Judith. It really still helped me and inspires me, and I believe it will my colleagues as well, to keep continuing our work and help. Our small town is quite conservative, Catholic, and it's not easy in our town to help foreigners. So thank you for the inspiration of today.
I'm really happy about this comment, Natalie, and greetings to the Czech Republic from the MENA community. Thank you so much. And if you if you need help, okay, I will contact you after this meeting in this week, and let's channel you to a common platform where you can share experiences and get inspired by others as well. Okay, more comments, feelings arising regarding this topic about resiliency in mother centers. Yes, Kata, Scott. Thank you, Kata. The name of the project, well, within this event is taking part, is named Let's Build Bridges. And I really like to thank you, Kata, and the Slovakian network to build this bridge to Ukraine. I'm very thankful for that. I'm calling Lori. Lori, would you like to say something? Lori is from US, but Lori, please unmute yourself. Unmute, turn your microphone on so we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
now we can hear you.
Yeah. You know, I've been thinking about this for so many years, trying to figure out the only way I see of having peace in the world that cares about the development of the next generation, which is our work. It has to be through mothers being strong. I think we have to shift so much has to change, because everything in our circles are defined from men. It's women as the years go by, thousands of years, hundreds, not thousands, okay. They make change to benefit their communities and their children. That's what they do. They don't arm themselves and shoot each other's children. It's ridiculous. We do the same thing over and over again. And the only ones who I think can make a difference are the mothers. And it's going to be a long trip. But I can't figure out how to make the world different except through what we have inside, the maternal force. It's real. Everybody knows it. A lot of people know it's real. But somehow it's hard to say that. Now that in America, at least, now that the men are paying early attention, they are changing. The men are having different hormones shifting. So maybe there's another way of making the difference, either through getting the men to connect much earlier and stronger with the baby, or to get the women more politically strong so they make the decisions. That's my thought. Thank you for listening. I don't have many people that could listen.
Thank you, Lori. You know, in Mother Center Crisis and Women Crisis, one of our main tasks is listening to each other. And I cannot imagine more nicer closing words like you did. That this crisis, what we are living now, it will be solved definitely by women, because we are not competing, we are cooperating. Yes. And in this word, yes, cooperation.
Yes. Could be a whole different world, couldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm so glad you're there.
Yes, we are so glad you are with us. Manu, you were just waving to Lori. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I really like that you turn all your microphones on. Please turn your microphones on. Doesn't matter what you have in your background. And please, you know my game. You know my game. Put yourself here and arm yourself. Arm yourself. Arm yourself. I really thank you for to join, and I wish it was a beautiful Monday. A beautiful Monday with bridges built between women, between words, and between different cultures, different religions.
Yes, yes, yes.
And this is how we act. And please take it with it to your communities and all the women next to you and in the circle. I thank you for all attending this. I'm very thankful for Marina, for Manu, for Anna, and for Natalia for the translation extra round. Thank you so much, because it's a very nice skill you have, and giving us the possibility to understand each other, not just within feelings, with words as well. Thank you so much. This session was recorded and will be on Mina YouTube soon. You will get news from me. And thank you so much for all the speakers, and thank you for all who listened. Thank you so much.
Have a nice International Mother Center Day.
Have a nice International Mother's Day. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.